So this is a demonstration of a little software program that I have just put together. I mean, this is basically, I can't remember exactly how I did it at Alcatel, but I mean, that was 1997, 1998. But I've kind of redone it here just this morning. I mean, I started working on it about, I don't know, 9, 10 o'clock, and it's about 2 p.m. now. So I worked on it all day. I drew the drawing when I was in Vietnam just out of my head because I knew what I'd done back then. And so I'm just going to explain it to you. I'm going to show you how it works first. Then I'm going to explain it to you with the block diagram because I have it back here. And I'll show you how this thing really works and what they stole from me and why. So I only have 1 minute intervals. You can see it's at 53 seconds. I'm going to stop and restart and get started. Okay, I'm going to have to do this in small steps because the software, it takes a long time to run each step. So I'll do test 1 first. See, it grays out, so I know when it's finished. We'll do test 2. I'm going to skip test 3 because it's about 30 seconds long. I want to come back to it. So here's test 4. We'll go to test 5. Basically, this is telling you how to convert binary into hexadecimal and into decimal. And it also tells you how to write it to a microprocessor computer. So that was test 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is 6. I'm almost out of time. So I'm going to have to stop it and restart in a second. I'll wait for this button to come back. There it goes. I'm going to stop, restart. As you can see, I'm still back at the same place. This is where I left off. This was test 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, test 6. So we'll go down to test 3. This is the one. This is the multi-state processor part that Intel Corporation was interested in when Carlton Brown had the meeting with them. So I'm going to run it. It's about 30 seconds long. What you can see is it's counting. Here's 1 state machine, 2, 3. This is the second state machine. This whole first test. This is the first state machine. It goes through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 states. This one goes through 3 states. It's an internal state machine to the other state machine. This is what Intel Corporation took from me for their multi-core processor state machine. And this is why they sent me to Intel Corporation, had me murdered. Carlton Brown said, they're going to kill you. He was right. He was right. So I'm going to stop and restart. So here's this part. I'm back. I restarted. I'll move this down a little bit. And then I'll run the last test, which is 7. And I'll explain it to you. So here's 7. This is basically the end of the test. It shuts it off. It shuts it off. There's the note. I just thought you'd like to read that. Anyway, now I'm going to show you more of the software, how this thing works. This is an actual real state machine. This can be used as a real functional test. This is what I use as a real functional test at Alcatel. This is just kind of, instead of having an actual test where it goes and talks to something, I'm displaying wording. I'm displaying words instead of actually going out, talking to a board and running a test. That's the only difference. I'm just not talking to a board. But the rest of it works exactly as I described. I'm going to stop and restart. I'm going to show you the insides of it. Okay, so I'm back. You can see where I am. Bring this up here. This is the block diagram. You can see it's just that end to that end. So this is basically this is the actual state machine inside here, right here. This is the state machine. So here's state 0. This is the one where it constantly runs all the time, never stops, just keeps running in this state until you select a test. You select a test. It goes to, here's test 1. It's binary bit 1. Here's binary bit 2. That's test 2. Here's binary bit 4. This is the next one. It just keeps going. Here's 8, 16, 32, 64. And there's room to go to 128, 256, 512, 1020. Just keeps going up. Just keeps going up. You can add as many states as you want. I'm going to stop and restart. You see what I left off? I came back to where I left off. This is the last state that I left off on. It's all. Each of these would have a functional test inside, like this one. This actually does. This is the state machine that they stole from me right here. I'm gonna move this over because Carlton said this is the important part right here, Brett. Right here, you know what you're doing, and yeah, I do. This is digital design, except I'm doing it in LabVIEW. I mean, these are OR gates. This makes a binary decision right here. It sends an output. All you have to do is add gates and use gates instead of this. This right here, it builds an array. It makes an array, and it makes it into something you can write to a processor. You can make 32 bits, 16 bits, 8 bits, 4 bits. It just makes an array of bits. I'm going to stop and restart. Okay, I'm going to restart. And when I say array of bits, if you send this in, it's just one bit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So there's actually 8 bits because there's bits. There's a 0. So this is 7 bits, but it goes down here. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I can't even count. 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 bits. It puts it in an array for you. Puts it in an array, and that's what you see on the front panel. See on the front panel. That's right here. There it is. Front panel. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 bits. 7 bits on the front panel. And that's an array. This is actually, you can look at this. This is an array. So that'd be the third bit. Second bit, first bit, 0 bits. So that's the array. There's 3 bits in that array. I'm gonna stop and restart, and I'm gonna show you how I did this. When I was in Vietnam, I just started thinking about what they did, and this is what I drew in Vietnam, because this is what my test was that I did at Alcatel. This is what Intel Corporation took from me right here. This is exactly what you just saw in my software. Bit 1 is test 1, you get a 2, it's test 2, 4 is a test 3, 8 is test 4, 16 test 5, 32 is test 6, 64 ends the test. That's what it does. I'll show you that in a second. Test 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 ends test. 3 is test 3. It has the state machine with 3 different states. Anyway, I just showed you it works. That's exactly what it is. I'm going to go through it one more time. I'm going to show you just what you got here. I'm going to stop and restart.